No, not that. Not the outside world. My blood ran cold. David's phone shook in his hand. My custom bed, my fortress, was shattered around me. Splintered wood pressed into my back. Steel poked my side. My chest felt crushed. Every breath was a fight. I could only make a choked sound.
Assobe.
My legs were numb, twisted beneath the wreckage. David looked at me, his face pale. His fingers trembled as he dialed. Yes, my wife is, she's trapped. Our bed collapsed. The words were a death knell. Strangers were coming. They would see. The cold dread suffocated me. My heart hammered, a frantic bird trapped in a cage. This was the moment I'd spent years avoiding. Years of hiding. Years of pretending everything was fine. David's grip on my hand was warm, useless against the icy terror. They would see everything. My immense body. My helplessness. It wasn't always like this. Once, my heels clicked on city pavement. My calendar burst with plans. Laughter echoed at brunch. My body moved. Freely. That Brenda feels like a faded photograph now. A dream. I was tangled.
Trapped.
My arms were pinned. My legs felt twisted underneath me. The broken frame dug into my sides. My chest felt squashed. It was so hard to breathe. Just short, shallow gasps. My heart hammered. A frantic drum inside my chest. My mind raced. This couldn't be happening. David stirred. A sleepy mumble. Then he gasped. Brenda? What was that? He fumbled for the lamp. The light flickered on. His eyes went wide. Horror. He saw the mess. The splintered wood. My huge body sunk deep into the broken mattress. He scrambled off his side. Came around to mine. He tried to pull at the mattress. To lift a piece of wood. Useless. It was all useless. Oh my God, Brenda. Are you hurt? What happened?
His voice was shaking.
I tried to speak. Words wouldn't come out. Just a choked sound.
Assobe.
The shame hit me. Hard. David seeing me like this. So helpless. So immense. This was all my fault. My weight. It broke everything. He kept trying. Pulling, grunting. He pushed. Nothing moved. I was stuck fast.
He stopped.
Leaned against the dresser, breathing hard. Then he said it. I have to call someone, Brenda. My blood ran cold.
No,
Not that. Not the outside world. He looked at me. His face pale. I can't get you out. I just can't. Tears welled in my eyes.
I knew he was right.
But it was my worst nightmare. The neighbors. The ambulance. Firefighters. Everyone would know.
They'd see.
They'd judge. He grabbed his phone. His fingers trembled as he dialed. I heard him speak. Low tones.
Urgent.
Yes, my wife is, she's trapped. Our bed collapsed. He hung up. Came back to me. Sat on the floor beside the ruined bed. He took my hand. It was one of the few parts of me he could reach easily. His grip was tight.
Comforting.
But it didn't stop the cold dread. The hours stretched. Long and slow. My body screamed. Aches everywhere. Numbness in my legs. My back felt twisted. The pressure on my chest. It made every breath a struggle. The room was quiet now. Just our breathing. And the frantic beat of my heart. David kept talking to me. Softly. They'll be here soon, honey. Just hold on. But soon wasn't soon enough. Every minute felt like an hour. Every hour like a lifetime. The thought of them coming. Strangers. Into my sanctuary. Into my private world. It was terrifying. More terrifying than the pain, almost. I closed my eyes. Tried to pretend I wasn't there. That this wasn't happening. But the splintered wood dug in. The broken springs poked. I was very much there. And I was very much trapped.
The dread.
It was a cold, suffocating blanket. This was the moment I'd spent years trying to avoid. Years of hiding. Years of pretending everything was fine. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic bird trapped in a cage. David's hand in mine was warm, but it couldn't thaw the icy grip of terror. Soon they'd be here. Strangers. They'd see. It wasn't always like this. Not really. I'm in my mid-40s now. But there was a time. A different Brenda. She had a calendar bursting with plans. A career she loved. Friends who laughed too loud at brunch. My heels clicked on pavement back then. Not just on the few steps to the bathroom. That life feels like a dream now. A faded photograph. The weight crept up. So slowly at first. A few pounds here. A few there. Then it just exploded. Each lost pound was celebrated with a new binge. Each setback rationalized. A bad day. A stressful week. Soon, the excuses outnumbered the healthy choices. My world started shrinking. First the office. Then social gatherings. Then even quick trips to the store. Eventually, it was just these four walls. My sanctuary. My prison. My days became a cycle. A blur of screens and snacks. Binge-watching shows. Eating my feelings. Every day, I avoided mirrors. A quick glance was all I allowed. Just enough to comb my hair.
Sometimes not even that.
Grocery deliveries were meticulously planned. Minimum interaction. Just a quick nod. Then the door was shut. Bolted. I told myself I was content. Truly. This quiet life.
No judgment. No expectations. But the constant ache in my joints.
The way my breath hitched doing simple things. The crushing loneliness that gnawed at me when the TV was off. Those were harder to deny. Much harder. This bed. This broken, splintered mess. It was supposed to be my fortress. My refuge. It wasn't some luxury purchase. It was a necessity.
Custom built.
Reinforced. An engineering marvel, they said. Cost a fortune. Every penny a desperate attempt to create a safe space. A stable island in the sea of my own body. It allowed me to keep avoiding the real issue. To stay tucked away. Safe. Or so I thought. Now it was just twisted metal and broken wood. Digging into my flesh. Every shift, every breath, was agony. My legs were numb. My back felt like it was tearing apart. The weight of my own body, made worse by the collapse, was a physical torment. But the emotional burden? That was heavier. Far heavier.
The shame.
Hot then cold. Washing over me in waves. Self-loathing. A bitter taste in my mouth. I'd spent so long pretending. So much effort maintaining that facade of being fine.
And now?
Now it was all shattered. Just like the bed. And I was exposed.
Raw.
For everyone to see. That night, the world felt especially heavy. Not just my body. Everything. I had dared to peek. Just a tiny glance at a local community forum. My mistake. Always my mistake. Someone had posted about a neighborhood picnic. All families. Kids running around. And then a comment. Buried deep. Not even aimed at me. Just a casual, cruel remark about how some people just let themselves go. How it's a shame to see people waste away their lives on the couch. It was a tiny thing, but it felt like a punch. Right in the gut. I closed the laptop. My hands were shaking. My chest felt tight. The usual escape. My bed. My big, strong, custom-built bed. It was always there. My haven. My fortress. I decided to retreat early. Earlier than usual. The sun hadn't even fully set. But I needed the dark. The covers. The soft mattress that cradled me. I maneuvered my way onto it. Each shift of my weight, a familiar process. The springs groaned a little. They always did. It was a comforting sound. A sign it was holding. Strong. Secure. I pushed myself further into the pillows. Trying to lose myself in the softness. To forget the words. To forget the shame that comment brought bubbling up. Then came a sound that wasn't comforting. A new sound. A deep, guttural creak. It started low. Underneath me. I froze. My heart hammered against my ribs. A shudder. Not just the bed. My whole body shuddered. Then a groan. A long, drawn-out, protesting groan. It felt like the very foundation of my world was giving way. I tried to shift. just a little, to lessen the pressure. But it was too late. A deafening crack tore through the quiet apartment. It wasn't just wood snapping. It sounded like bone, like something vital tearing apart. The whole world tilted. Violently. I felt myself drop. Not gently.
No.
It was a sudden, sickening lurch. My stomach flew into my throat. The mattress gave way, plunging me down into a chaos of broken things. Wood splintered. Metal shrieked. A sharp edge dug into my side. Another into my thigh. Blankets, sheets, pillows. They tangled around me, like ropes, trapping my limbs. My legs were twisted at an awkward angle.
Pinched.
My back screamed. A searing pain. I tried to push, to lift myself, to roll. Anything. But I couldn't move. My arms were pinned. My legs, useless. The wreckage was everywhere. Above me, below me, around me, pressing in. My own body, massive and heavy, was now part of the problem. It was an anchor, holding me fast, stuck, immobilized. The bed, my safe place, had turned into a cage. A cruel, splintered trap. I couldn't breathe properly. Panic clawed at my throat. I was buried, alone, and completely helpless.